ESPN Radio and New Hampshire's best sports. This is WGAM, The Game.
You ever want to rap or anything? Just talk or just, get weird with somebody. Buddies for life.
Welcome back to the New England Golf Radio Show. You just heard our motto, You ever want to rap or get weird or just buddies for life, man?
We get really weird on Sundays.
Sometimes it gets weird in here, and we want you to be a part of our weirdness. Call in anytime, 883-9900, 4 tickets to the International LPGA Futures Tour event at Beaver Meadow in Concord in July. It's going to be a great event. Get a chance to see professional golfers hit professional golf shots. Something you definitely want to see. Also, as I said, people have been known to have a good time at these events. They're notorious for people just hanging out, having a good time, watching some golf, enjoying themselves. So call in. Give your opinion on any of these topics we're talking about. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about, golf in New England, golf on the PGA Tour, whatever it is, 883-9900. Give us a ring. We'll chat. We'll get weird and all those good things. Second segment here on the New England Golf Radio Show. Travelers Championship, TPC River Highlands, Cromwell, Connecticut. I had the opportunity to be there. Great venue. Very, very short course for PGA Tour players, 6,800 yards. And if you play golf and you check out the yardages on the scorecard, you can play a course at 6,800 yards. So you can imagine these guys' mindset when they get out there. When they get on this course, they're hitting driver, they're hitting wedges, and they want to make birdies. And you can just see it in their eyes. When they make pars, they are unhappy about their game. And I'm watching guys play Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm watching these guys play, and they're making pars, and they're upset. And I'm thinking, man, these guys are that good that they are just really upset that they're making par right now. They expect to make birdies. They expect to make eagles, and that's what they do. Helped that the course was really wet, a ton of rain down there. The first round, rain delays all over the place. I was there for 4 or 5 hours, and I knew it was going to be called, checking the radar, talking to some other media people down there, so I just left. Came back the second day, a little bit better weather, but still the course soaked, drenched. Great job by the grounds crew down there to keep that place somewhat dry, to keep it walkable for the fans. A lot of fans came out on Friday. But with a wet course and a short course, PGA Tour players are going to go really low. The greens were rolling about 10 on the stimp meter, which in comparison to the U.S. Open and some other major championships that you'll play at, it's about 13. So relatively slow. Guys being really aggressive with putts at this tournament. Bubba Watson got his first PGA Tour win there last year in a playoff, a place where I followed him for a little while too, and just a place that he can dominate with his length. He just absolutely smashes it off the tee and is not afraid to take a cut at it down there because there's a lot of space for those guys to hit driver. Some interesting holes that if you're down there or you had the opportunity to watch it on TV today. Number 10 is a downhill 462-yard par 4 with a tree on the left. A lot of the times, guys hit driver. Guys with Bubba's length probably hit 3-wood. But one of the more challenging tee shots, interesting hole to watch. Another tough second shot to a green guarded by some bunkers downhill. A little bit difficult for those guys to get the yardage. I watched Bubba hit a nice little 3-wood cutoff there and then put one to about 8 feet. And some other guys ended up off to the left in one of the bunkers and on the side hill, had a hard time getting it up and down. Number 12, another very interesting par 4, long, water along or out of bounds, I guess, on the right. If you drive it far enough, it'll roll down the hill to about 60 yards. Bubba was able to do that on number 12. David Toms did not. He was also in that group. All those guys made birdie, though. Another place where they just pull out the driver, let it rip, and then hit wedge into a green. Number 15 is the most exciting hole there by far. Drivable par 4, 297 yards. So when you view this, it's got a little bit of a stadium setting. The 18th tee is right there. A lot of people like to watch. You can see the guys hit their tee shot. A lot of times guys hit driver to the green or come up just short. Bubba actually hit 3-wood there and came up just short and then showed some magnificent short game touch by bumping it off the hill and leaving it to about 8 feet for birdie. But just a fun place to watch. People are having a good time there for sure. You get to see the tour pros just smash a driver out there and try to get it up on the green, which is absolutely their strategy. Number 18, the home hole, 440-yard par 4, very narrow, bunkers on the right and left. Green just a little bit below the fairway, also guarded by bunkers with a couple areas where the ball can roll off down to the side where guys had to get it up and down. Another interesting hole for them to play. One of the harder holes. You got to hit driver there, and then most guys are probably left with about a 7-6 iron. I think Bubba had about a wedge in there. Ian Poulter also hit a monster drive there, had a wedge. Keegan Bradley also hit a monster drive. However, ended up in the bunker. He ended up making bogey, unfortunately. Keegan Bradley, another guy that I watched for a while. Guy absolutely bombs it from Woodstock, Vermont. Has a great short game. Won this year, obviously. Going to be a really, really good player. And looking forward to seeing how he progresses on the PGA Tour. Really, really good player from New England, which you don't often see given the weather up here, because you can only play so long up here, Chris. We don't have a ton of time to get out and play golf. So good for him, playing really well. Besides a little 2-hole stretch there, but he's going to be really good. Also had a chance to walk a couple holes with our guy Andre Gonzalez. Unbelievable guy to watch play golf. He's got the handlebar mustache. He's got the long hair. Awesome to watch him play. He crushes it as well. Hit a couple drivers, hit a couple wedges. Seems like a fun guy to play with. Wasn't very happy with his performance on the first couple holes.
Did he tweet about it?
He didn't tweet about his round, but he was tweeting about, Bubba Watson and him were having a little tweet-off during the rain delay, trying to get him an interview with Golf Channel.
Tweet-off, eh?
Yeah, that's what I guess we'd call it, a tweet-off. They're going back and forth, messaging each other, and for all you that don't know about Twitter, get on it. It's fun. Golfers love it. If you follow Twitter during a rain delay, during a PGA Tour event, you will get information about golfers that you just wouldn't believe that you could get, because they just tweet about everything. They're bored. They got nothing to do. They're just sitting around tweeting each other. So anyway, Bubba Watson trying to get Golf Channel to interview Andres Gonzalez, an interesting dude with a handlebar mustache, long hair, a guy that, as we talked about, just wants to be friends with Tiger Woods. So Tiger and Golf Channel, if you're out there, Tiger, be friends with him, A. B, Golf Channel, interview this guy. He's interesting. People in the golf world would want to see him on TV.
I don't know if I would give Tiger that advice. I don't know if it's ever good to be friends with someone who really wants to be your friend that much.
No, absolutely. I mean? No,
that can get weird, but this guy's hilarious.
This guy is hilarious. He will loosen Tiger up. He'll have Tiger. Who knows what they'll be doing? Imagine if those two were hanging out. It would be an interesting thing to see. So Andres Gonzalez, watched him for a few holes. Great to watch. Got to be a fun guy to play around and golf with. Definitely, it seems like a fun guy from what he puts out there on the Twitter world. Missed that interview with Golf Channel, but anyway, I'm sure they'll get him on there at some point.
So who seemed like the least fun to play around a golf with?
The least fun to play around a golf with out of all the guys that I saw, I don't even think there's anybody that I would say that would be the least fun. I mean, I watched Brandon. I watched Brandon Steele, Anthony Kim, Carl Pedersen for a while. Brandon Steele didn't seem to say much. I think he was a little bit upset. Ian Poulter plays with some edge, and I'll tell you what, Ian Poulter, I like it. I could see how a lot of people wouldn't like it, but he plays with some edge. He's great to watch. He's a lot of fun. I like him. He hits a great drive on the par 5, reaches it in 2, hits a hybrid up to about 20 feet, gets over his putt. Right before he hits the putt, yells, "Keep the cart still, please." Everybody's looking around. Nobody sees a cart. Nobody knows where it is. He backs off the ball, steps back, gets back over the ball, drains his eagle putt. Unbelievable. Next hole, he's having a long conversation about the yardage with his caddy, ends up hitting it to 5 feet, making birdie. So a guy that I love to watch who's got some edge, a lot of fun. If you get a chance to go to an event, definitely watch him for a couple holes, and just, you like him or you won't like him, I'll tell you that much. But for me, a lot of entertainment, and a great group. He played with Keegan Bradley as well, and David Tom's another guy who I was just watching putt and saying, oh my God, this guy can absolutely roll the rock. Round 1 leader, pretty much irrelevant. They only played a couple holes on Thursday. Friday was round 1 and round 2 combined. In the afternoon on Friday, Patrick Cantley, an amateur, 19-year-old kid, going to be a sophomore at UCLA, goes out and shoots a 60. And in that venue, that's what you expect from PGA Tour players. It's probably not something you expect from an amateur. However, this kid is really good. Finished tied 21st at the Open last week, has played multiple PGA Tour events. People know he's going to be really good. He eagled the par 5 13th twice on Friday. He also, with that 60, holds the lowest round ever by an amateur on the PGA Tour, beating Phil, beating Tiger. Phil shot a 66 in 91, or 65 in 91 when he won. Tiger shot a 66 in the Open in 96. So Cantley, now a guy that surpasses Tiger and Phil, had the lead on Thursday, shot a 60 on a course that you would expect a PGA Tour pro to shoot that. Maybe you weren't expecting this kid to shoot it. However, he bombs it, he controlled his wedges, and he just made some putts. You got to make putts out there to shoot that number, and that's what he did. Surprisingly, he came out yesterday, shot a +2, and of course, the talk is now, should the kid turn pro? What if he wins? What happens? What do you think, Chris? A lot of different factors weigh into this, obviously, and we'll get into it after you give your answer.
I would say finish school. Finish school and then do it. Golf doesn't last forever, and you can go. Well, for some people it does.
Yeah.
for certain, but not for everybody. For most people, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And he's 20 years old. 19, 20 years old.
And he goes to UCLA, not a bad venue to be at college.
Exactly. I mean, he's going to a fun school. He's obviously got a very nice career ahead of him. I know the pressure right now is probably thinking, well, if I don't turn pro now, who knows what's going to happen? It's not like you're out there playing, tackle football. You're playing golf. Like, the risk of injury, you can get injured, but the risk of injury is much, much lower.
Right.
If anything, he'll probably get better in his next 2 years in college. He'll have a degree. He'll have something to fall back on if golf doesn't work out.
Sure.
But he'll also have 2 more years playing, playing collegiately,
golf,
and that's a big deal. So I say he should finish school.
And I like your assessment there. There's a lot of different factors that play into it. Look, if he wins this event, he can be exempt for 2 years on a PGA Tour. That's a big deal. There's a lot of guys that come out early and don't make it on the PGA Tour. Ty Tryon is a name that immediately comes to mind. Turns pro at 17, plays a couple events, does okay, bounces around the mini tours forever. Nobody ever hears from him again. Now, look, Ty Tryon just played in the Open last week. Didn't play well in the first round. It didn't necessarily play well. Maybe he's having fun, and maybe that's what he's enjoyed. However, if your ideal situation is to be really successful, certainly you can stay in school. Also play on the PGA Tour. He can play 7 events a year. He'll be exempt for a couple other ones. Even if he stays at an amateur, all he's doing is missing out on the money. Look, if the kid's in a situation where he needs the money and his family needs the money, I understand. I don't think Patrick Cantley is in that situation right now. He's got an opportunity to go to UCLA for free. Definitely stay in school. Just because you come out and shoot a 60 in one round on a PGA Tour course that's relatively short, wet, and guys can really, really go low, doesn't mean you're necessarily ready to compete on that level on a weekly basis, because it's much more of a grind than you think it is.
I mean, you probably are, but not necessarily.
Right, and things change. I mean, and as you said, you can only get better, and he can continue as a UCLA student to play these events no matter what. If he wins, he'll be exempt at the Masters as an amateur. He'll have a ton of tournaments. He's already going to play the AT&T next week, Tigers tournament right outside of Philadelphia. So he's got the opportunity to get the experience, stay in college, get a free education, play college golf, enjoy himself, stay in school. And to his credit, that's what he said the whole time. Look, I'm going to stay in school. My intention is to finish my degree. I'm playing well right now, but I'm not ready. I need to get more. I need to work on my short game. I need to refine some of my iron play. Drives it fairly well for where he's at in his career, but certainly he's got areas where he can improve. He'll have the opportunity to do that at UCLA.
Well, he said all that, but then he shot a 60.
Yeah, he said it after he shot a 60.
Oh, he said it afterwards?
He said it afterwards. His dad had a few different things to say. I didn't actually see Cantley. I was following some other groups when I was out there, but the dad had a few different things to say about what they might do if he wins the event. However, he's in second place now. The new leader is Freddie Jakobsen, a guy that played really well at the Open. He's at minus 16. He's from Sweden. Tied 21 at the Open. Looking for his first tour win. Hasn't made a bogey yet on the course. A guy that I had a chance to see play a couple holes on Thursday. Really in control of his golf swing. Got an unbelievable short game. This dude can get it up and down. I saw him miss a green on a short par 3. Got it up and down. No problem. No issue. Wasn't even thinking twice about it. Showed no nerves. Really, really good player. Minus 16. Certainly in a position where he needs to go out and shoot a low number today in order to win. Second, you got Bryce Mulder at minus 15. Finished T6 at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am this year. A guy that bombs it, is in control. Certainly is looking for some more consistency in his game on the PGA Tour. I think he has an opportunity to win. Certainly he's one shot back. But again, you got to go out and shoot a number today because guys are going to be firing at pins. And down there in the conditions that they're going to have, it's going to be sunny. They're going to be able to score, certainly. Local guy also in the mix, James Driscoll from Brookline, Mass. at minus 13. He's never won on the PGA Tour. Gotta love to see a local guy. They're in Connecticut, Cromwell. Going to see a Massachusetts guy got a chance. He tied for 8th at the HP Byron Nelson. He's long off the tee, got a solid short game. Certainly has an opportunity to make a name for himself. Never won on the PGA Tour. Interesting thing, though, about Bryce Mulder is from Arkansas, played around with Bill Clinton one time, shot a 60. So, Chris, he's in a different boat than me on letting the president win because I'm sure Bill Clinton didn't shoot a 60 that day. I don't know if they were playing I don't know if they were playing a match or they were playing for the presidency that day, but he certainly did not let the president win. Bill Clinton probably shot a 60 on the front nine. Now, Bill Clinton's a pretty good golfer. So, just an interesting little fact about Bryce Mulder. So, you got Jakobsen, Mulder, Driscoll in the mix. You got Cantley a few back from there at minus 11. He's still got an opportunity if he goes out and posts another 60 to get a win. Who do you think? Who are you taking?
I'm going to go with Driscoll. I'm going to go with the local guy. I think this is going to be his first win, and I'm just saying that because he's from Brookline.
There you go. I like that. I like supporting your area, supporting the town. We love to see guys from Brookline do well. I'm not sure he's going to win. I think I'm going to have to go with Jakobsen. Just seeing him, he looked like complete control of his game. Certainly he was confident, is gaining confidence as we speak because of his performance at the Open. And round by round, shot by shot, he looked like he was in control. And if he misses a green, he's certainly going to get it up and down. However, they're going to have to go low today. The question is how low. He's at minus 16. Guys, a couple shots back. There's a 62 out there today for sure. So you got to put up a number. I'm sure he'll fire at some pins. All those guys will be firing at pins. And with the drivable par 4, got an opportunity to maybe make an eagle there. Certainly, he can do that. He's got the length. Everybody on tour's got the length to get there. So something in the 60s gets it done for him. I think he's the guy that'll get it done today.
Jacobson scares me, though, because he's been bogey-free. And the law of averages states that when you're bogey-free and going into the last day, you're going to get a bogey.
Yeah, Chris, try not to get too mathematical on us here. We can't figure that all out.
The law of averages.
The law of averages, is that the law of large numbers or something like that? I have no idea what you're talking about.
That's what my bookie told me.
Okay, well, yeah. Don't mention that on the air. We don't need people showing up here with baseball bats. I got Jacobson in the win. Chris has got Driscoll. We'll see what happens. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Ed DeShays, head pro at Beaver Golf Club in Concord, New Hampshire, where they're hosting the International in July. As I said, call in 883-9900. Next segment, 4 tickets to the LPGA Futures Tour tournament up there in July. Certainly a great event that you need to go check out. We'll get into that LPGA event. We'll talk to Ed, and when we come back right here on WGA.
You ever want to rap or anything? Just talk or just, get weird with somebody. Buddies for life.
Don't make these guys